And that is why I'm keeping the Charvel. It's fun and sounds good, easy to play. So this is part 2. When I filmed the video, I didn't know it was going to be as long, so part 2, we're going to talk about it being a workhorse and specifically all the tuning problems I've had with it. And I've actually documented that process. So hopefully you'll see what I went through and might help somebody. And by the way, this is my workhorse. This is my Suhr Modern. This is a guitar I keep referring to, and this is a Battle Warrior. So I'm just trying to get the Charvel on par with this. At the moment it's not, but I do use the Charvel every night in the show, and for certain numbers I just can't touch the wiggle stick, and I'll tell you why. So check this out and let me know what you think. Please subscribe. Okay, so a workhorse guitar for me is something I can professionally rely on night after night, and also like Guthrie says, you take one guitar in the gig bag and you can play all sorts of gigs. So like I said, my main workhorse guitar is the Suhr Modern. I think I bought it in 2017, or it was made in 2017. It's not that fair for me to compare this to the Suhr because that is a boutique guitar, but I'm still going to do it because we're going to talk about the factors of it being a workhorse guitar. So the Suhr is solid, and I'll never forget, I had a 2-week stretch before I got the Mystere gig where I was rehearsing during the day. If I wasn't rehearsing during the day, I was learning songs for the next week, and I was working every night. And during that week of working every night, I did a pop gig, I did a real deal country gig, I did a gypsy jazz gig, church gig, and then at the same time I was auditioning for the Mystere show. I used the Suhr Modern and it was just killer. And so to this day it is, the thing doesn't move out of tune. It's got to go to Godot Bridge, and I can do Floyd stuff with it, which I really shouldn't be doing, but yeah, that's kind of my benchmark. So like I said, Suhrs have gone up in price. Maybe I should have bought another Suhr, because after the money I've put in this, I probably could have gotten a Suhr and just had less headaches. But the journey with this has been fun, even though we're not quite there yet. So this is a very fun guitar. But yeah, like I said, you can't compare it. These have nice locking tuners and they feel great, but then when I pick up the Suhr feels just a little better. So appointments like that I'm not going to talk about. But out of the box, I bought this from Sweetwater. They were great because I could not try this guitar before I bought it, and they said I could send it back. And there was some times where I was calling them to ask them if I could send it back. But out of the box, it was nice. It needed some work. It was not intonated. The knob on this just would keep flying off. It wouldn't stay in tune when I used this bridge, the original bridge. But if I didn't touch the bridge and I seem to have this whammy bar in that position, it did stay in great tune. So it's been to Brandon a bunch of times before I even used it at the Mystere gig. Alright, so now let's check the tuning. There's a lot of effects on this, sorry if that... Right, so pretty good, pretty good. As with the case with the G string, it's flat. Low flat there. So not so bad. And what you can do is that old trick we learned from Eddie and stuff is the quick dive bomb and come back up. But that doesn't seem to help with this whammy bar. Everything kind of stayed there, but that G string's not coming back. I'll yank up just for... Now I'm really off. So that's what I mean. It's got to come straight to dead nuts. Try that. So the whole guitar is sharp now, so let's try my trick. That helped a little, but watch. Just enough to bug me. Okay, what did you just say?
The intonation on this guitar is way out.
Way out.
Yeah.
Could it be part of traveling? It came from New Haven, I think.
No, the intonation points on this guitar are set for super light strings, but then it had 10s on it, so it was just, it's really, really out.
So the neck was bowed. I missed it, but he just set the bridge down a bit more flush because it was a little high.
It could be pretty damn close to being perfectly in tune.
All right. If you say so.
Still about a half step out.
So this is the original Charvel Bridge. It seems to be made really well. I love this brass block back here. I love the arm. I like it better than this because it's got the Allen wrench. You could tighten it. I usually like to keep my bar tightened so it doesn't flop around. But the thing we did find out with this is that maybe it's some kind of pot metal. It's hard to see with the chrome in a picture, but you can see with your naked eye. Where the knife edge meets the stud, it's already wearing and tearing and has some divots. I could put my fingernail in it. So that's one reason I would change this out anyway in this case. I don't know if you could see, but it's right in there. I'll take some pictures. Maybe that's why it wouldn't come back to dead nuts, because it was always gripping.
Here's kind of a quick comparison video of these two bridges. This one Mundo had on his guitar for maybe, what, 2 weeks? A week or two? And he doesn't play monster heavy strings. He plays with 9s. And you can already see, oh, if I can get the camera to focus. See right there in the knife edge where it's starting to deform. And this is under, short period of time. The base plate of this bridge is definitely cheap pot metal. It's going to deform. It's going to make the bridge difficult to return to zero and stay in tune when you're using it. This is the new Floyd Rose that's made out of hardened steel. You have brand new sharp knife edges, and you won't see that on the new one. Also on this one, the block is tungsten steel. It's a lot thinner, but it is more dense, or it's almost twice as dense as what the brass one is. The brass one is heavier, but this is the old block. So we could switch them out if we needed to, but seems like everything is in control at the moment. If we want to experiment, we can.
So what I did is we got a new Floyd and new studs, and the reason I didn't want to give up on this guitar, and I was within my window of returning it. By the way, this wear and tear was only after 5 days. So yeah, that was an issue. But the guitar stayed in tune as long as I didn't use the whammy bar. It plays great, it's light, and it really gave me a bunch of sounds. And it's close enough to the Suhr where when I picked either or guitar, the sound guys wouldn't hear a big tonal difference. So I feel like this is a great arsenal for the Workhorse quiver. But it's a professional guitar, why not change this out? Also, you might be thinking, why would somebody buy a new guitar and then alter it and modify it? The reason being, if I'm buying it to execute parts, it's basically a tool, and it might sound great and play great, stay in tune. It just might not be ergonomically suitable to my hands and where I would like the controls. So yeah, I'll change it up. I mean, you could see on a few of the guitars behind me how I've modified them. Case in point, check this out. These two knobs actually should go there. See how they're off? But I needed the volume knob closer so I can get to it with my pinky. The toggle switch actually is cut under the body this way. I never finished up because couldn't get anybody to cut through this pick guard. And what is this? This is where the volume knob used to be, but I needed it closer once again for my pinky. Changed the pickups and added a toggle for an on-off switch for the battery. Regular guitar with 3 single coil pickups, but I couldn't use it professionally, so I added a humbucker. Moved the volume knob again, added a secret switch, shortened the tremolo bar, changed the pickups. This is Buzzy Featon's guitar that he actually used to do the Buzzy Featon tuning system for Washburns. Check out what he did. They made it for him. Moved knobs all around. Pickups. The ultimate modified guitar. Eddie's. Come on. Some of the other bridges we can consider the spacing wasn't right for the stud, so I wanted to stay with the right spacing. In case I switched the guitar, we didn't want to mess with this bridge, the original bridge. So I got this, and what we did, I should back up a bit too. The original bridge, we made sure there was no binding, meaning it wasn't catching on anything. This is not a bone nut, but it's a tusk nut, and they're very good. I even used the nut sauce in there, and we made sure that was grooved out correctly. So nothing's binding, still no problem. So with the new Floyd, you know, of course I did have to buy a new Floyd, and there's a teeniest of teeniest shavings in here, so it doesn't hit the body. That's the only difference. Other than that, it fit right in. We've even taken this off. The springs that came with the guitar, super heavy. Changed out the springs. There's a little foam in there. Took the foam out. I can't remember if we put it back. We tried everything. So I will say it is a workhorse unless I use the bridge. And so the big deal for me with the bridge is this new show. It's specifically written where I have to do dive bombs and whammy bar stuff, and it's written into the score for 2 bars or 1 bar, or you come off on the end of 4, and then when you're done you play a line, and or you play a power chord, and it's in those things where it's just not staying in tune, and so I can't count on it. So I've been just working and working on getting this guitar there. All right, so the problem with this guitar is it stays dead nuts in tune as long as I don't use the wiggle stick. So it needs to be so in tune for me because I'm working in an in-ear environment every night with musicians who are better than me and have better ears than I. So, and I'm playing with all this distortion, and if it's really out of tune, you can really hear the difference. So it has to be in tune. The Suhr, my workhorse, the modern, stays in tune. I use a Solar guitar at the gig. It stays in tune. That is a workhorse. It's just heavy, so I don't play it all the time. And it's that guitar only wants to do like metal and go fast. All right, so here's my pedal board, and full disclosure, I have tuning OCD. So let's just put on some volume. I've got 2 tuners, one right here and one right here. So for some visual confirmation. Okay, actually playing my guitar here. So, like I said, you have to be dead nuts, and then personally, you can't use your ears. You got to sometimes tune silently. By the way, with my guitars, especially the 2 bolt-ons right here, that's the Suhr, that's the Guthrie Charvel. I don't grab it here. What I do is I grab it low, and I find that helps everything stay, every bolt-on neck stay in tune more. But we've had some challenges. Let me demonstrate. If I just do it's been better, by the way. It's been better with all the work that Brandon has done on this guitar for Made on Earth Guitars. Like I said, we're going to talk about the bridge, but check out where we're at. Okay, let's use the stick. See if we're in tune. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's just do some light dive bombs. So I go up here. distortion, but you get the idea. Now we're out. So if I was going to follow that, that's just too out for the people I work with and even for me. One thing that does help is the old Eddie trick. And we're out. So that is my problem with this. Maybe it's only me. I do know 2 other people who have this guitar who they had tuning problems. They did not say it was the whammy bar, but they're not whammy guys, but they had tuning problems. Same thing with me. So that's why I changed to the bridge. This is a non-locking Floyd. You know, a Floyd normally has a clamp here. This is the non-locking Floyd. By the way, the American-made Guthrie Govan guitars, they come with a Tremol-No, and that we haven't done yet. But I just keep thinking, my Suhr of the Charvel Bridge, we know a non-locking Floyd works, at least in that case. So we're going for that, and yeah, that's been the problem. I'm still fighting the good fight. Love the guitar, but as far as a workhorse, you know, maybe I should have bought a Suhr, because after paying the tech all the money, buying a new bridge, you know, there's been some headaches, but I'm still using it nightly, and the guitar is just a lot of fun. So and it lets me play like Guthrie, right? Exactly like Guthrie. Anyway, yeah, that's been my challenge. I still might just bring this home and buy a Suhr. If I can't figure it out, I may put a locking nut here, turn it into a real 80s Charvel, right? But yeah, that's where I'm at, and I hope this helps somebody. Maybe it's only me who's had this problem with the guitar, but for the money you pay, I think I wasn't asking too much. Then again, I'm somewhat still happy with it. So if this helps you, awesome. And if you like my videos, I really would appreciate you to like and subscribe. It's just fun. I'm getting a lot of great feedback. Until next time, this is Mundo. Aloha.